Oh,
another thing. I don't know if it was during that, but another thing that Coach Drake was like, he's like, we get our bigs to crash about 2 out of 10 times. He's like, what if Coach Connor got you pizza 2 out of 10 times?
and he pauses for so long, and we all kind of just look at Connor like, "Are you gonna do that?" Or like, and Connor's just standing there like,
he's doing his little.
Was there ever a game where we didn't? Like, we always got food. I don't think they ever.
No, there was one.
I thought there was one.
I think it was like during that time.
There was a home game where like
we lost. It was during the losing streak.
It was during Christmas break though, or something. It was during some break, so like we didn't have like the calf as an option before or anything.
Yeah.
And so after the game, we just get a text, and Connor's like, "Yo, text me separately if y'all want food."
No.
And like probably 3 of us probably did.
Yeah. But like in the moment, like he didn't mention anything because usually he'd be like, "Yo, yeah, we got pizza out there, we got something." This time he didn't say shit, and like the 3 of us were like, we didn't want to ask, be like, "Yo, Coach Drake, you got pizza for us?"
Yeah, no chance, no chance.
Yeah, it was probably like 2 hours later. Connor texted us, and we're just like, should we just go to Cane's or like? Yeah, but then we're gonna go to your broken nose that year. That was kind of gross.
I think I didn't break my nose.
Or your eye. It was your
my eye.
Your like occipital, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that the right occipital?
That would be your eye.
What's this?
Bone.
Occipital bone.
Yeah, I got hit like right here.
I mean, that thing was gross when that happened.
Yeah, we were playing Dakota State.
At home, yep.
Yeah.
In that little Thanksgiving tournament.
Yeah, and I got trapped, and I kind of threw like a spin, one hand pass. They steal it.
Yeah.
And I was pretty good at just like walling up, and I knew, this kid was going to be out of control. He tried to like Euro around me, and when he Euroed, bang, his elbow hit me right in the face, and like it hurt on impact, but it was like nothing like crazy. But I remember like going down the court, and I felt like just something like growing on my face. I didn't know if I was like bleeding or like what was going on, but.
Yeah, I remember because you went down court, played offense that play, and came back on defense. I think I think it went out of bounds. And you like came over to the bench. You're like, "Am I bleeding?
Well,
like what's?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you have a second face on your face."
Well, I remember I caught the ball like 2 or 3 times that possession. I was just swinging it. Like I was like, I think Lawrence turned it over. They go down, did a layup, and I looked at the ref, and I'm like, "Am I bleeding or something?"
Okay,
and
because it was right in front of us, and the ref was like, "Oh yeah, that's probably not good."
And I go up to one of the trainers, and I go up to her, and she goes, "Holy shit!"
That's not what you want to hear.
And I was just like, "All right, well, there's something."
My favorite part about that, so you missed like a week maybe, and so you're not.
Yeah,
it was like a week or 2.
We didn't know if it was fractured or broken or what.
Yeah, you went to like 3 different doctors for them to be like,
either
like the first couple were like, "No, you can't play with that. Like you got to wait a little bit."
Yeah.
And you went to one, and it's like, and they're like, "Oh no, just throw on a mask, you're good."
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I went to like Boy Center or something, and he was like, "Yeah, it's nothing." He was like, "You're good." I go, like, "I can play and everything." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do I need a mask?" He goes, "No. Unless you want one."
All right, bro.
So I remember I saw you on the way or on campus that day, like after you had talked to him or something. It must have been the afternoon or something. And you're like telling me that. I was like, "Oh, okay." And we had like a game the next day.
Yeah.
So you haven't practiced for like a week and a half or 2. And,
Yeah, it was like a week.
And you've just been sitting out. Next game, you play all 40 minutes. I don't remember who we played, but you played 40 minutes. Oh, is Hastings at home? Well, no wonder. Everyone was sick.
Story about that one.
Everyone was sick. Well,
that was one of my. I think I had 11 or 12 assists and 1 turnover. It was one of my.
Yeah, but so you just come back. You haven't moved in 2 weeks. Haven't ran or anything, and you just play 40 minutes. We're on the sideline, just like, this man's a robot. Like, what are we doing?
We used to actually call you. Was he the cyborg? Yeah. So we called like Bo the robot and you the cyborg because it's like y'all would play 40 minutes and seemingly not get tired.
Yeah.
So
especially Bo. I mean, he played for every single game.
I was usually what do you have, torn quads or something?
He had bad knees. I forget.
Like I think people made it out worse than it was, but it was still bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Like
those shots.
He never like.
It was bad.
He never complained about anything, but he's like, "Dude, my knees hurt."
Yeah.
I was like, "You gotta tell coach, like, you don't like." He was one of those guys, like he he didn't need to practice. Like we didn't need him to get reps. Like he knew what he had to do.
He was already
in the game.
prepared.
He's gonna shoot threes. He's gonna clamp somebody up, take care of the ball. He's always in the right position.
Yeah.
Like we didn't need him to practice, but he practiced.
There was one time early in the season before I like really like got to know people. And Bo's, it's like a game day and we're going down for shoot around or whatever. Bo's going down the steps and he's taking it like 2 slow steps at a time. Yeah. Probably goes down the steps in like dead ass 2 minutes. Yeah. And I'm behind him, like kind of walking slow with him. Like I don't want to say like, yo, are you good, bro? Can I just walk around you?
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely hurt.
It was bad.
Well, because I remember telling him there was a shooter at Iowa State. His name was Matt Thomas. I don't know if you remember Matt Thomas. Played with like Niane and Monte Morris and all those guys. And he had bad knees too. And at practice, he just rode the bike and shot on the gun. And then in games, he would play, 30, 35 minutes. Like.
So what I was going to – wait. What was I going to say?
How is he so in shape?
Completely left my mind. I was going to say something, but I don't remember.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, wow. Completely just left my mind.
My question is, was there a different kind of like conditioning you were doing than the rest of us? Or have you just always been like someone who can run and run and run?
I remember now.
I don't know. I feel like I had decent endurance, but like when I got tired, I was just like going to keep going because I knew it would help me in like the games. Like, because if you get tired and just like stop, and it's like you don't really. So I tried to like push myself, but wasn't anything.
So we'll go back to that Hastings game real quick that we were thinking about.
Oh.
So that's the day before. I think it might have been a Wednesday or Saturday. I don't know which day it was, but we had a practice the night before or like evening. It was just like a shooting practice, just kind of like touch some things up, relax. Yeah. We had like 8 guys there. Like Manny had strep throat. Lawrence was also sick with Manny. I don't think Bo was there, right? Bo like wasn't there for something, and then like your face was like just getting fixed, so we weren't sure how everything with that was gonna go. And then Tyler was obviously done by then, and then Noah was sick. So we went from like 15 or something down to like 8 or 7.
Most of it's JV. 4 of them are JV.
And Coach Drake, we're like talking like right after practice, and he's like, "Well, I don't know how." I don't know how tomorrow's going to go, but I hope everybody in here is ready to play.
Yeah.
Because we have, he was like, look around. We have 8 guys in here. This might be our 8 tomorrow.
Wow.
So me, Colbin, and Kobe.
Been so nervous.
Me, Colbin, and Kobe. We're studying film. We're like, man.
Bro, I've never watched more film on a team.
I mean, we could still tell you about Hastings' entire like starting lineup, bench, what plays they were going to run. I mean, we were locked in. Lo and behold, everyone shows up tomorrow, except like Tyler and Noah.
Really? Wow.
So it was fine. We still won the game. Sam actually dunked on a guy. Shout out Sam.
So, okay, yeah. So that was when we were winning games, because that was earlier in the year.
Yeah. That was probably a couple games before, because Hastings was one of our last in the first round.
First conference game.
Well, because the first game that we lost was at home versus Morningside, and I remember that was like we're 14-4. They were like 14-4, 14-3. It's like, it's like
because we were 4-2 in conference, and they were probably like 5-1 or something.
Yeah. And it came down to the last shot. I think Lawrence drove at the end, and he lost his footing and kind of just like threw one up. But yeah, that game started it. Who knows if we win that one?
Well, we've said that I think we had 4 or 5 games that were like last second shots.
Yeah, five of those 10 losses were like a 1 possession game.
It was either, and I think 3 of them is if someone makes a layup. We have L slips on his. We have Tyler against Doan.
Senior night, Lawrence barely missed.
Yeah,
little
another one. So it's like
That was Dak West.
Yep.
You do 5 games instead of 16 and 14. You're 21-9. So
yeah, and then I mean, if you win 20 games in GPAC,
and like 5th
national tournament,
and like 4th in the conference. Yeah. At that point, we had like 6 teams making the national tournament because it was so good.
Every year 5-0. Every year that I played, at least 5 went, which is wild.
Meanwhile, we're also number 1 offense in the
We
country.
were number 1 in points per possession, actually.
Yeah, like offensive efficiency. Yeah.
It's
It's wild.
Dude, I really want this though. Okay, well, I don't know what happened. Before we let you go, we're kind of interested. We don't exactly know. So you got a full-time job now, right?
Yep.
Kind of describe that for us. Kind of interested.
I'm at JetLinks. They're a private jet company. It's pretty much like these owners who they don't fly their jets that much, and somehow like if they just sit there, like they lose money. So like they rent them out to people. There's JetLinks members. Morgan Wallen's a JetLinks member. Derrick Henry. I know I have him in my fantasy, which is kind of cool.
Yo, that's got to be illegal somehow.
Yeah.
Conflict of interest.
Tampering right there.
Luke Combs is a member. Anyway, yeah, process a bunch of fuel, invoice a bunch of trips, send them to the clients, the members, and then everything we do is for JetLinks. So like we keep track of all like the pilot's expenses, the crew members' expenses, and it's pretty much just putting numbers in the computer. It feels like the whole day.
So like pilots, crew members, those all work for JetLinks too?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to get the idea of the scale of this business.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then every month we put together like owner statements. It's like,
how does that sound? Is that fun for you?
The first few months, actually, even now still. I've been working almost 5 months now.
Yeah.
But I mean, no idea what I was doing. Like, no idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, they told me that before. Like, it's gonna take 3 to 6 months before you start to. And I'm starting to pick stuff up, which is good now. But I didn't know what I was doing at all. But it's really not that bad.
And how did you get set up there?
So a recruiter on LinkedIn actually called me one day, and we talked like the year before about trying to like get me internships and stuff, and I never was like proactive about it, kind of just winged it. And he's giving me a call. I remember I was like leaving the library actually, and I see his number, and I was like, I'm not answering this. I was like, whatever, I'll answer it. He's like, hey, I think I got a good fit for you, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I could set you up an interview with JetLinks. He's like, do you want to have a Zoom call in the morning? We talk more about it. So we had a Zoom call for like an hour at the grill.
Nice.
And it was good. And he's like, yeah, I'll get you an interview. And I think like 4 or 5 people interviewed.
Wow.
And they called me back for a second round. And then I could kind of tell during that second interview that they were going to hire me, and they did. But yeah, I started like 9 days after graduation, so it was a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. I started like at my job, I think 7 days after
You were like a week or 2 after.
I had 1 week off.
Yeah.
So graduation was a Saturday, so then 2 days. So I was 9 days after.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, because I started on
All had the
a
same
Monday.
start date.
Nice.
Yeah, graduation was on Saturday. Started that next Monday. But yeah,
Pretty sick.
it's cool.
Do you get to go in these jets?
So probably around like the 1 year mark, I'll get to go to one of the bases I work with. So there's all these bases around the country. It's just
Obviously.
airports.
Yeah.
Right now I have Boston. They only have 1 jet, so it's pretty easy now. DC only has 2 jets. I have New York. They have 7. And then Tulsa has like 7. So right now I have those 4 bases. And then I think in like a month or 2 I'll be getting Scottsdale or Atlanta. And they have like 10 jets. So then month end will be even more of a grind. But
That's wild.
so it's fun though. It's funny, a kid there, or the other 2, I guess on our revenue team, we're called like the revenue team. There's like 5 of us, and then 2 of them played football in the GPAC. 1 at Doane, 1 at Hastings. So we got like the
They're dog shit at
GPAC.
football.
But yeah, no, it's fun. I like working there. It's a fun group of people. Kind of look forward to going there every day. It's not like, you know.
Like, oh.
Yeah, it's not just
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
terrible grind.
It's not like what you think of like an accounting job. Like,
Yeah. Right.
it's fun. It's good culture we got. So.
Dude, what I was gonna say is like for every like Tyler Irwin player that we had, I was gonna like quiz them at the end, say if they could name the culture acronym like through and through.
Dude, that's a good
That was one of my
Wow.
ideas. And then just send the clip to Coach Irwin afterwards.
Commitment.
Okay, by the way. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Try to name them real quick.
Wow, dude.
I got 'em
That's
still.
wild. Commitment. I don't remember if it's unwavering integrity or something.
That's one of the U's. I'll give you either U.
Okay, unwavering integrity.
The other one is way funnier. I'm going to flame you, Coach Irwin, for the second U, by the way.
The L.
Unwavering integrity is first, by the way.
The L is it just leadership?
Leadership.
Yep.
CULT, toughness.
Yep.
The other U.
Leadership council here. How do you not get this one? When I read this one, I started laughing in the locker room when I first saw this. Like, what?
First day.
You can't be serious. May 1. June 1? June 1. June 1.
Wow, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Understanding selflessness.
Yeah.
Not unselfish.
No. Not unselfish. You better understand selflessness.
Yep. Then what? Reinforced communication and expect family.
Hey, that's
Okay.
pretty good.
Hey, that's
pretty good.
Well, I knew one of the U's was going to get me.
Do you remember there was a meeting we had early, might have been last year. Might have been sophomore year. My sophomore year. You weren't there? It was the end of sophomore year after you quit, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. We had a team meeting one day about what and like he was like talking. He was like, does anyone even know what culture stands for? Like he's like, what's the C? And I'm like, commitment. So what's the U? Unwavering integrity.
I'm trying to remember that.
What's the L? Leadership.
Well,
I'm like listing off the whole thing. I didn't remember if it was toughness or not, so I stayed quiet on the T, but nobody answered. And I was like, can somebody, like I thought it was toughness, but I didn't want to be wrong, so I just stayed quiet. And I like read the rest of them. And I was like, nobody else could just throw in one for me? And he's like, that's my point. That's exactly what I mean. We don't have a, and I was like, I just named them all.
Yeah.
What about me?
Yeah. Well, now that that's funny because I know the story. I mean, it was Irwin's first year.
It was my junior year, actually, because I remember I talked to Dom after. Anyways.
Yeah, it was Irwin's first year, which was my senior year, your guys' sophomore year. Yeah. And I lost my temper a good amount on the court.
This is what I forgot.
Is it going to be that?
So, and I mean, I tried to channel it. Sometimes I just, whatever, you got a lot going on. You got a lot going on in college. Probably had like a test the next day. Or who
Probably
knows?
that morning.
Probably hungry, whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what all happened, but it was right. Like we have guys on the baseline and we're doing some sort of live thing.
This is,
and I get mad. I grab the ball and I throw it as hard as I can at the wall.
bang.
And it was the wall. I was pretty far from it.
You're on the baseline.
Rumor has it was going maybe 90 miles an hour.
Dude,
Rumor.
it was so loud.
And I remember Jake Gore, he must have been in the drill because he was like against the wall and he kind of turns around and I don't know how the ball didn't hit him. And he did the most nonchalant kind of just like, and it just skinned by him, drills the wall, nothing. Like no coach, they didn't say anything to me.
The whole practice paused for a second though, and we're all like,
yeah. And I like right after
and then Coach Irwin goes, "Come on, let's get to the next."
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Yeah, I was like, obviously I should not have done that. Like whatever. And I think it was that same practice.
It was actually mine was the day before. Actually, I think, or was it the same practice?
No.
Mine was mine was
was not
before.
before
Yeah, it was.
because-
Yeah, it was. That's why I was so mad because it was before.
It was
because mine had already happened. 100%.
We all paused when you did it, and we were kind of like, "You're not gonna say anything, Coach." Like,
Mine was 100% before. 100%. I don't know if it was day before or same practice, but it was before.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so pretty much whenever it was, like, you got just a little frustrated. I mean, you kicked the ball a little bit out of frustration, but you also just kicked out the wall to get it right
pick it up.
back. So Baxter kicks it out the wall.
Mind you, I do this all the time. I'm pretty good with like my feet and a
Yeah,
ball.
you
Just
are.
kick it up to myself.
Yeah.
Catch it, throw it into the drill.
And I remember Coach just tells Baxter, start running. So Baxter's just running in a circle around our
No,
gym.
but then he says start running, and then he goes in a circle.
you said running in circles.
So
What?
we're practicing, and Baxter's just like running, like looking at us
Around the court, just in a circle. It's like, what?
That was funny.
After that practice, me and Baxter walking back to Lund, and I go, Bax, it's a good thing he didn't tell me that because I thought he meant just start like spinning around. I was like, I would have dead ass just started spinning around. Right
That would have been bad. That's funny.
So he says that to me, and I'm like confused. I'm like, all I did was pick the ball up. Because to me, I really wasn't even that frustrated. Like, I got fouled that play, right?
Right.
But like part of our practice, sometimes they were a little bit rougher. Sometimes he didn't really call fouls. I didn't really, like at that point, I'd already moved on from getting a foul call.
Yeah.
So I kind of just kick it up, throw it back into the drill, and he like says that, and I'm like, okay. Like my thing is, if he thought I was mad and kicked the ball at the wall because I got fouled, then he knows I got fouled. That's my point. Like, all I did was kick it up to like grab it.
Yeah.
So obviously he knows I got fouled and just didn't call it. I mean, I did get fouled. I mean, I couldn't even grab the ball because he was holding both my arms down. Shout out Dom.
Racing legend in the making.
He was a scratcher. He was a scratcher.
I have a scar on my wrist. One from Lawrence and one from Dom. I don't know which is which. I have two though, right here.
Yeah. Let's get clawed.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You guys do fantasy football?
Yeah.
How's your team doing?
Oh, as a house, we're insane.
Yeah, so Tristan lives with us too. So Tristan's 4-0. I'm 3-1. You're 3-1.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm 3-1.
Yeah. I should be 4-0.
ESPN or
Sleeper.
you're on Sleeper too? Okay.
Yeah, it's with my work.
Okay.
So
Y'all got money on it or no?
we threw in like $5 each. I know.
Y'all are a private jet firm, and we're throwing in $5 each.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I guess if you want.
Are you sports betting on Sleeper? That's the question.
No, I'm not. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Really?
But
He's like, right now I'm not.
you
Maybe next week.
What is it? Over under yards and stuff.
Yeah, it's like Prize Pick, same thing.
But you can do it like on the fantasy app.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you have anything else for the podcast? Anything you wanted to? Anything else you wanted to let the camera know? Let the viewers out there know? Anything?
No.
Any memories we missed? I forgot about.
Memories we
I'm so
missed.
glad you brought up the hitting the ball off the wall.
Yeah, it was funny.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
It's funny now, but at the time I was like, "Yo."
Yeah, I mean, not really.
All right.
I mean, there was some funny times, obviously.
Yeah.
College is fun. I remember they asked me, you want to use your 5th year? I didn't even hesitate. Like, I wasn't like, I'll get back to you in a little bit. Like, they asked me, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, another year of college, another year of hoops. Like, why not?
Yeah.
But I loved it. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
This
A lot of
was-
people say they'll be on and then miss a week.
Yeah.
You showed up and you came up. That's
Yeah.
big time.
This
That's
is
what matters.
perfect. I went and saw the fellows practice.
Yep.
Stopped by. Excited to see them play.
It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be here on the podcast with some feedback after games, before games.
Okay.
We'll give the rundown.
All right.
All right. Well, we appreciate you having on. What is that?
Nope.
How was that?
I saw a video on Instagram of that song today, and it was whatever his name was. He was performing at some outdoor festival.
He still performs, huh?
Oh, I think
did
it
see
was
that,
like
yeah.
it was like a flashback,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
caption
That
was
makes way
like
more sense.
the closest to world peace we've ever been. Because like when that song came on, everyone just came together and
No,
just
that's what we need right now.
yeah, we need something like
In
that
this
again.
time,
We
just
do.
need
We
A
do.
viral
Wow.
hit song.
We do need something like that.
But it
All
can't be like an actual good song. It's got to be like some stupid song.
And yeah, I mean catchy. I mean that theme's stuck in your head.
I gotta stop this before we. Thanks for watching, fellas. We'll see you next time.